Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Abby, and today, as you can see by the title of this video, I am reviewing the Conspiracy palette by Dawson and Jeffree Star. I was super excited when I got this in the mail. I couldn't wait and I just had to review it, so here it is for you guys. If you would like to see how I got this look, then keep on watching. First things first, my eyelids are primed, and honestly this is probably going to be a story time trying to get this palette. We'll get into it, but obviously you're here to see everything about the palette, so I'm gonna review it completely from the packaging to how the eyeshadows work and everything else in between. Dawson obviously documented everything on his YouTube about this collection, so if you haven't seen it already, I suggest you go watch it. Not only is it informational, but I feel like I learned so much from it just about makeup in general. Here she is. So pretty. All the ingredients are on the back of the box. There she is in all of her glory. Honestly, this packaging is so beautiful. I have never owned a palette like this. I do have a Jeffree Star palette, but it was one of his first ones. I think it's the Vanity Fair one, and honestly I like that one too, I'm not even gonna lie, but I don't really use it as much as I use like my Jaclyn Hill Originals and my Morphe palettes, just because they have a lot more like colors that I can use in there, and there's only like one really neutral shade in there. You open up the palette like this, and then there she is. I feel like I had to say a prayer to the makeup gods, not only because I can't believe this palette is sitting in front of me, but just to create something super beautiful today. Just watching it from start to finish and then finally receiving the palette is so cool, because obviously it's never been done before. I'm not going to swatch the colors because obviously the way you swatch with your finger compared to when you take a brush to the shadow is completely different. So for me, reviewing an eyeshadow palette is more about how the product works with me. Also in the box, I did receive this really cool postcard, which I'm sure most people also received, and then on the back is a picture of Jeffree and Shane. Let's get into this eyeshadow look and let's get into this story time. I am still getting over a cold, so if you hear me sniffle, don't mind me. But the first shade I'm going to be going in with is My Pills right here, just to put down a base for the rest of our eyeshadow. The first thing I'm noticing though is there is a lot of kickback, and if that does bother you, then you probably won't like this palette. But honestly, when it does that, I just know that the shadow is pigmented, so I don't really need to pick up a lot on my brush. I don't need to like go in there a million times and tap in with my brush a million times to get the product on my brush. I know I just need to tap and then go into my eye. So I'm just laying down the base, and like I said earlier, I already have a primer on. So where do I begin is the real question. The day of the launch was November 1st, which I'm pretty sure was a Friday, and that day was honestly probably the craziest makeup launch I've ever experienced. The next shade I'm gonna go in with is Not a Fact, and it's this really beautiful burgundy purple color right here. I'm really inspired by fall time right now and the holidays, so I'm thinking about like a cranberry-ish, purpley, plum-ish type of look is what I'm going for. So I'm at work, and basically, oh my god, this is crazy pigment already. Like, purples are not really pigmented, and I'm kind of shook by this, not gonna lie. But this wasn't any launch, let me just tell you. I don't remember honestly what time this palette launched at, but all I know is that I was on my computer for about 6 hours. The site like crashed. Basically, you had to refresh how often you needed to refresh. I just, you know, kept refreshing it. It was on my phone, it was on my computer at work. I brought my personal laptop to work. I just was trying to be prepared as possible because obviously this palette was in high demand, and I actually did purchase the gloss, which I don't even have yet, and it did say it's on its way, so I'm assuming it'll be here like any day now. I waited like every other million person that bought this palette did as well. I had it in my cart and like it just kept disappearing. Like I can't even explain it, but it just kept happening. And my friend, who was also at work ordering the palette, had already ordered it, paid for it, got a confirmation email, and I was like, okay. So she said she was gonna try for me, and she did, and she ended up getting it in her cart and getting to the checkout screen. All is well, all is fine. Until honestly these past couple weeks I've been a little bit stressing out about it. To make sure that I got the palette, I wanted to check my account just to make sure they took the money out of it. They did, and I was just kind of waiting for a confirmation email, but honestly I never got one. So I was just like kind of concerned because I was like, how do you process an order but you take my money but not send a confirmation email? So, you know, I was just waiting like everyone else, but my friend had already gotten a confirmation email that she bought the palette. I just had money from my account withdrawn. Like I never got a confirmation email about this palette. A week went by, I was like, okay, whatever, like I'm sure, you know, this palette is crazy. Like obviously it basically broke the internet. So I knew there was a lot of things going on because they were tweeting about it as it was happening. Basically we were all being updated at the time that this was going on, and I just was like, okay, like I'll just be patient. But you know, like I'm kind of getting concerned. Last Friday actually, I emailed them again and I was like, hey, I screenshotted my account. I was like, just so you guys know, you took the money from my account, but I never received a confirmation email. They got back to me pretty fast and they were like, well, unfortunately, sometimes this happens that the order isn't processed, but the money is taken from your account. That just didn't make sense to me because I was like, what do you mean? Like, you took my money but you didn't process the order? Like how does that even work? Like I don't even understand that. So the email was like, you'll get a refund within the next 2 to 3 days. So here I am waiting another 2 to 3 days and nothing. I never got a refund. So I was like, okay, maybe my palette is coming. Another week had passed by, so last week, and I emailed them again because I was like, okay, I never got my refund. I was just like really confused. I just really wasn't aware of what was going on, and I honestly don't think like a lot of other people knew what was going on either. I emailed them again and I was like, hey, just wanted to let you know, like I was told I was supposed to get a refund. You guys took my, you know, money but never gave me back the refund. And I never heard back from them. Never got an email back. So I was just like kind of confused, to be honest, because I'm like, okay, am I getting the palette? Am I not getting the palette? Before I emailed them the second time, they actually had a restock or a pre-order for the palette that they only had like 60,000 units left. I basically was like, okay, well, this is my chance, you know, like if I didn't get it the first time, like now's the time to get it because I'm really not gonna have any other time to get this palette before the end of the year. I brought my laptop to work again. I opened up my phone. I had everything ready. And this time my transaction went through and I also got a confirmation email. So honestly, I was just like really kind of confused at this whole thing. Next shade I'm gonna be going in with is Cheese Dust, and I'm just gonna be blending the purple out. Really didn't think I was gonna get this palette, but luckily enough, luckily for me, I did get the palette and I'm really liking it so far. Yeah, I can't imagine having 1,000,000+ units and then selling out of them. Loved watching the series. It made me have a totally different perspective on how makeup is made and how from start to finish, it's just a crazy process. And I feel like a lot of people take that for granted. I don't know what the process is behind something, and having someone put their heart and soul into everything, like, I think that just means a lot. And I'm super excited to be having this in front of me right now. Like, it's a really cool thing. That experience of ordering this palette was, like I said, one of the craziest launches I've ever been through. Another side note, when I pick up the product on my brush and then I put it on my eyes, usually I have a bunch of fallout underneath my eyes from most palettes that I use, but I don't have any. I am tapping off a little bit, but like not a lot really. And then just to blend this top part out, I'm gonna be taking Tanacon. I have like a neutral beigey shade, and I'm just like blurring this all out. Now I'm just gonna be going in with some black liner and lining my lids. Next, I'm going to be curling my lashes and putting some mascara on. This is the Essence Volume Stylist Curl and Hold Mascara. For lashes, I'm going to be using the Doll Eyes Volume Lashes in the style Stiletto. Okay, now that the eyes are done, well, not completely done because I still have to do the lower lash line. Next, I'm going to be going in with the L'Oreal 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation in the shade 425. I'm just going to be putting it at the bottom of my beauty blender and putting it all over my face. For concealer, I'm going to be taking 2 shades actually in the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. I'm going to be taking Medium Peach first and just putting this all underneath the eye, creating my eye shape with my concealer. Blend out. And then just for a little bit more coverage, I'm gonna put light peach right up in here. Okay, to finish the under eyes out, I'm gonna go in basically with the same colors that I did for the top, and I'm gonna take Not a Fact on this really skinny pencil brush, and I'm gonna run it along my lash line. And then back in with Cheese Dust. Lastly, I'm gonna take Tanacon and just kind of blend it all together. For the inner corner, I'm going to take Food Video. For the inner corner, I just wanted it to be a little brighter, so I did take the white Kat Von D concealer. I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my face off of camera, and I will be back with the final review. Alright guys, so that completes this video and this makeup look. I love how this turned out. I love how the colors are in this palette. I think they did such a great job with basically the color story in this palette. There's a bunch of neutrals, but a bunch of pops of color all at the same time. I would say the only downfall about this palette, it doesn't affect me personally because I don't mind it, but there is a lot of fallout when you pick up the shadow with your brush. But like I said, it doesn't bother me at all because I know that the color payoff is where it needs to be. And when I was putting the eyeshadows on, I didn't have a lot of fallout underneath my eyes. Honestly, only when I was using the yellow I had a little bit, but I think it was just a smaller brush. I do have a little surprise since I did end up buying the pre-order of the palette that it should be arriving at the end of December, I think. So I will be giving that palette away whenever I do receive it. It'll come with a bunch of more stuff that I'm gonna put in the giveaway. I need to give this palette to someone else who is going to use it because there's no reason for me to have two. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. Also, if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. A comment down below letting me know if you watched the Shane Dawson series about them creating this beautiful conspiracy palette. But that wraps up today's video. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next one. Short intermission. Same L'Oreal Infallible 24. The heck? But I come home, ow, setting it with the Cover FX. Oh my god. I hate intros and outros. I hate them so much. Cause I can never get my shit out right. I can never get my shit out right. I don't know why I just went into song, but I did.